All right, we're
And
back.
we are, yeah, we are.
We are here, or I'll let you take the reins on this. First, we're going to go ahead and have a quick little preview of Bellator 224, Bud versus Ruben, and then we'll dive into UFC on ESPN Plus 13, De Randamie versus Ladd, or um, UFC Sacramento.
Yeah, UFC
Yeah,
Sac. Yeah, so I just
UFC
want to talk about
Sac.
exactly. I just want to talk about Bellator 224 a little bit because there are some really good fights on this card. Also, I should note I switched over, no longer drinking White Russians because it's too goddamn hot out in East County for that. So I switched over to what is it? Suntory whiskey, the Toki
That's that's some
one.
great whiskey.
Yeah, it's very solid, and it was on sale at Bevmo for 4th of July. So I haven't had Japanese whiskey before. It's very good. Um,
Yeah, I finally tried that a couple months ago, and I like it.
which one did you try? Do you know?
The Suntory. Or which one? Just
Yeah.
I think that one you have.
Okay. Yeah. Because
That's
there's
the
this
only one.
one. There's Harmony, and there's a couple others. I know Harmony is supposed to be super good. But yeah, this is really solid. I also, as a backup, I have a Ghetto Paloma, as I like to call it. It's something the homie Mondo taught me back in the day. And by back in the day, I mean in like fucking freshman year of high school, probably. But it was what is it? Oh, Tequila and Squirt, Ghetto Paloma, dog.
That works.
Pretty solid. Hey, it's got great. It's got 1% grapefruit juice, so technically,
I thought you were gonna say it's got what plants crave.
well, that too, electrolytes.
Yeah.
Cool. So I just want to talk briefly about this Bellator 224 card that's happening tonight because it's really goddamn fun. I don't understand the bout order. The bout order is super fucking weird, but Bellator does that, and I don't understand why. For example, Leslie Smith and Sinead Kavanaugh are fighting, which is going to be a dope fight and hella scrappy. However, it is way down the card for some reason
Oh
that I
yeah.
can't figure out.
Hmm.
But there's a bunch of good fights. Arlene Blencoe is fighting Amanda Bell. I believe they're both Invicta vets, right? Blencoe was in Invicta at some point, wasn't she? Or she just Bellator? I guess she was just Bellator. Um, but I'm excited to see how she matches up against Amanda Bell. I think that's going to be a scrappy ass fight. Kiefer Crosby is also on this card fighting Mike Jackson. Nope, not that Mike Jackson. Nope, not that Mike Jackson either. A different Mike Jackson. Let's see. I mentioned Leslie Smith. Jordan Young's fighting on the card. Will Fleury is fighting on the card. AJ Agazarm is having a second fight. Ed Ruth and Kichi Kunamoto are fighting, which is going to be
Yeah, I
dope as
saw that.
hell.
That should be
Rafael
fun.
Carvalho is fighting Chidi Njokuani, which should be hella fun. And Julia Budd is fighting Olga Rubin, which I don't know a ton about Olga aside from the couple Bellator fights I've seen from her. I think I mostly just remember the Cindy Dandois one, which it's a Cindy Dandois fight. So, but I'm excited to see a lot of this card. Mostly Leslie Smith coming back. I'm very excited for that. I'm excited to see how she looks. Like that's gonna be fun as hell. So. We're not going to get into picks and all that because I haven't done tape study, and a lot of these people I know one half of the fight. So I would definitely keep an eye out for it. I believe, from what I understand, this one's on Paramount, which I think means it should also be on DAZN. I don't know if it means it's going to be tape delayed. If it is, I rescind any of this endorsement. That it could be interesting to watch because fucking not even Bellator executives, Viacom executives
Yeah,
hate fucking
yeah.
sports fans. They goddamn hate sports fans so fucking bad that they refuse to make it easy to watch any of their content live, even though they could for literally no more effort. So, goddamn old people. But yeah, I just wanted to shout out Bellator 224. It's gonna be really solid.
Nice, man. Yeah. But since it's tape delayed, like you said, I probably won't watch it.
I don't know if it is. Well, it's tape delayed on Paramount for the West Coast. I don't know if it's tape delayed on DAZN. But also Bellator makes none of this fucking shit easy to figure out. So if I don't know it, I would assume 90% of people don't know it, which is super fucking frustrating. But
Yeah,
I will
so
be watching that
I will
regardless.
watch it maybe. If I find out how.
There you go. Cool. Well, we will go ahead and switch over then to UFC on ESPN Plus 13, Sacramento, De Randamie versus Ladd. Also, what we should mention, last week, I think you went 9-3 for UFC 239, and I went 8-4, which is pretty solid.
Okay,
We
we did well. Yeah.
we both lost we both got the Panny and the Nardiev fight wrong. We both got the Rockhold fight wrong, and I had Askren, which did not work out well for me. But
what are you gonna do?
Yeah, but fun as hell card, and I really enjoyed it. I actually watched it a couple times. I actually did not watch it live because I went to Fogo de Chao, which no regrets.
Yeah, no.
Especially since I just came back and watched it later, super drunk until 4 a.m. So that was a good move.
There you go.
Yeah. Cool, man. So why don't you start us off on this this UFC card?
So first up, we have a men's bantamweight bout between Benito Lopez, the Golden Boy, not Oscar De La Hoya. I think this guy's from Team Alpha Male, going up against Vince Morales, Vendetta. Oh yeah, this guy. Benito Lopez. This is his third UFC bout. His last time we saw him was February on UFC on ESPN 1. He lost to Manny Bermudez via guillotine choke and no. I can think of Dennis Bermudez. Why can't
Manny Bermudez is been looking real good.
Yeah, that dude looks like a fucking straight killer lately.
And he has a nasty guillotine, so no shame in that shit.
Vince Morales, last time we saw him was only like a month and a half ago or 2 months ago. In May, he defeated Ayman Zahabi, Faras's little brother, the unanimous decision. Before that, he survived the decision against Song Yadong, which in hindsight is impressive as fuck now.
Super impressive.
This dude could definitely take a beating, I should say he definitely has a chin. Yeah, because I can't remember how that fight was. That's a little unfair. So you have Benito Lopez, who got submitted by an up-and-comer, and you got this Vince Morales guy who has a chin. This seems pretty close to pick. I did zero tape study for like any of this card.
You and I both. So
short-term memory.
Yeah, take our fucking picks super lightly. If you want more in-depth analysis, half the battle or vivisection is probably the way to go.
So I'm gonna go Benito Lopez. I think Vince Morales loses to another alpha male guy. I don't know. There's no logic in this pick whatsoever. I'm just gonna go Benito Lopez, and I'm gonna go decision. No input at all, no insight. I could lie to you right now and pretend I know what I'm talking about, but I'm not gonna waste your time.
There you go. I like it. I like your steeds on that shit. Yeah, man. I think I'm gonna be super unpopular and go against most alpha male fighters on this card, because while Benito Lopez is super good, I think this fight's probably going to decision. If you're taking decision wins off Ayman Zahabi, I think you're definitely going to take a decision win off Benito Lopez. Super MMA math, so I'm probably very wrong, but I'm definitely leaning Morales via decision. This is one of those fights I really wish I did some tape study on.
And then the odds for this, for those who care, Morales is a -128 to a +115 over Lopez.
I could see that.
I think you're headed in the right direction, at least as far as the odds makers are concerned.
I think the odds makers are probably fading alpha male pretty hard on this card. So,
the next fight we have is a women's strawweight bout between American Brianna the Bull Van Buren.
Is it, or is the Pyongyang Liu fight next? Because Wikipedia has the Pyongyang Liu fight next.
Oh, I'm just going on Tapology.
Let's go. Let's pretend like Wikipedia isn't fucking us right now. Let's go with Pyongyang Liu versus Jonathan Martinez.
Okay, so we have Pyongyang Liu versus Jonathan Martinez. We have Liu versus Martinez.
There you go.
Liu is from China, or as George W. Bush called it, China. He's a record of 15-4. This is his third UFC fight. He has 2 UFC victories over Damian Stasiak, decision win and a split decision win over Martin Day. His opponent, Jonathan Martinez. Last time we saw him, he fought against another Chinese fighter, Waluigi, back
AKA
in February.
Luigi Buren.
Yeah, they're like, who the fuck is that? Yeah. So, yeah, let's see. Like I said, I'm not gonna lie to you. I wish I can kind of tell you who's gonna win. So I'm gonna go with I think Lou is gonna win because he is a champion in another promotion, and I don't think Martinez is gonna beat another Chinese guy. And I'm just see, you know what I mean? I don't know what the fuck I picked, dude. I'm not gonna try to keep fucking spewing bullshit. I'm gonna just go with Lou. I have no fucking clue, to be honest. Dude, I can't. I have like no insight in this. I really wish I did, but.
Yeah, I'm leaning the same way. I've been very high on a lot of the Chinese fighters coming out. And taking decision wins off dudes like Damian Stasiak is pretty goddamn impressive. Martinez did go to decision with Andre Sukumtat, which is, from what I remember, it was fairly competitive. But Sukumtat is kind of up and down, at least lately, it feels like. Oh, and I'm pretty high on some of the Chinese fighters that have been coming out lately. So I'm probably going to lean Lou via decision, but
I mean,
not real confident.
They have that fancy new performance institute in China, dude. So did you figure they're going to be good now?
And
right?
it also means they're probably giving them favorable matchups.
Wow. So. Yeah. Yeah, I got Lou decision. The odds here, Lou is a favorite at -145 to a +129 of Martinez.
Yep.
This brings us to our next fight, which is a women's strawweight bout.
So fucking hyped for this fight.
Against Brianna the Bull Van Buren, the American, went up against Brazilian Livia Renata Souza, the Brazilian gangsta.
Yeah, this fight has Invicta headliner written all fucking over it. This is a great matchup.
Last time we saw Brianna, I remember this chick. Yeah, wasn't she? Yeah, she was just an Invicta. This chick's badass.
She ran the
really grappling. Yeah,
she fucked her way up in the one night tournament.
Yeah, wasn't she like an alternate also?
I don't know if she was an alternate, but I know she fucking smoked everybody in that tournament. It wasn't even
she absolutely dominated everyone in that. The Phoenix Rising one, she beat Manchi Kolakar, Juliana Lima, and Kaylin Curran.
Yep.
Two of those were just submission victories. And Livia Renata Souza.
Yeah, but subbing Kaylin Curran in the second is a big goddamn deal.
Yeah. And Livia Renata Souza is good, very good in the striking. So I think this could be a grappler versus a striker kind of style matchup. Or is she more well-rounded?
Livia's.
Oh, she does have submissions. Okay.
Yeah, so I would say Livia's strongest suit is definitely the ground. She is a high-level black belt, very solid on the ground. Her hands are good when she is the aggressor. Like, she fucked up Ayaka Hamasaki, but she is very hittable. Like, in the Sarah Frota fight, that was a split decision because she lost the shit out of that third round when she couldn't get takedowns, if I remember right. So the thing is, this fight's really interesting because a lot of it is going to come down to who is going to initiate the takedowns and the scrambles. I think if Livia at all ends up on top during this fight, it's probably, if it's not a wrap, she's definitely taking the round off of Brianna. But Brianna's like a mini DC out there, just fucking tough as shit. She is, I believe she's out of AKA. I'm pretty positive. I'm not 100%, but I'm pretty positive.
Yeah, it looks like in the photo, her fight kit, it says AKA.
Oh, yeah, there you go. Fucking Tapology's gym stuff always fucks me up since it's all really old. And yeah, man, getting a choke on Kaylin Curran is super fucking impressive. Also, the win over Juliana Lima was really solid. She has wins in the past over Jamie Moyle. She had that loss to Amy Montenegro. She's fought some very, very solid fighters. I just don't know if she's going to be able to deal with the ground game of Livia Renata Souza. And I think that and the big giant shots from Livia are going to be the deciding factor in this. I think if Brianna can at all shut down the takedowns and the aggression of Livia, I think she can definitely win a decision. I just think that's a tall fucking order against a very high level grappler. And Livia's not afraid to go out there and just fucking wing some punches too. So, man, I gotta take Livia in this. I would not at all bet on this fight. I'm very nervous that Brianna Van Buren literally just bowls her way through Livia Notasuza and kind of just outmuscles her and gives her trouble. Because Livia is pretty small for 115, but Olivia's so goddamn technical on the ground. I think I gotta take her probably by decision, but I would not be surprised to see it. Actually, yeah, I'll take her by decision, but I would not be surprised to see her get the choke.
Yeah, I'm going the same way. I like Van Buren's just pressure and kind of resilience. She's literally just willing to kind of just grind people against the cage. But yeah, I think
she's very good at that AKA cage work.
Yeah, and this isn't really necessarily a bad, like a too soon kind of matchup for Van Buren because I know she'll make it competitive. But yeah, I think Souza's just a little too more well rounded.
She definitely has a big experience edge. Yeah.
So yeah, I'm gonna go decision with Souza. And the odds for those curious. Oh wow, okay. Van Buren is the favorite at a -119 to +106 over Souza.
That doesn't surprise me. Just because of her run in that tournament was fucking super impressive. And Livia got lit up in that Frota fight a little bit. But man, it's going to be a tough win for either woman in this fight. So I think it's going to be fun as hell.
So this next fight we have is very interesting. This is basically wrestler versus a grappler, wrestler versus BJJ practitioner. We got Darren the Damage Elkins out of Team Alpha Male going up against Ryan the Wizard Hall. I know you kind of already mentioned you're kind of going against a lot of the Team Alpha Male guys. I'm leaning Ryan Hall here. I know people say, oh, but wrestling is BJJ's weakness. Yeah, but have you seen what Ryan Hall can do from pretty much like any style guard off his back?
Not even guard. He is the one example of Imanari rolls that he's able to work pretty effectively over and over.
He did the fucking BJ Penn.
Yeah, Gray Maynard, all those dudes. Yeah.
Look, and he's an example. And someone made this point of what if Luke Rockhold is going to change his style. I can't remember who said this, but they said Luke Rockhold is actually one of the best BJJ practitioners.
He is, but mostly from top position.
But yeah, but they said Luke Rockhold, he's going to change his style. Now, he needs to keep his chin down for one.
He needs to learn how to stop. He needs to learn how to not eat every left hook he sees.
He has good long rangey kicks. Just do that. You know, even implement. I'm not gonna say Taekwondo or some shit like that, but maybe just keep yourself at range. That's what Hall does. I know Hall has a pretty good question mark kick. I believe he has really good rangy, snappy kicks for a BJJ guy. At least in that. What fight was it?
It was the Gray Maynard fight where he hook kicked Gray Maynard like 60 times.
Yeah, so that's what Rockhold should do. Unless he decides to just not. I'm not sure what he's going to do. Dana wants him to retire, and again, Dana doesn't give a fuck.
Dana wants everybody to retire who makes money.
Yeah,
or who's difficult to deal with. Shouts to poor Holly Holm.
That all being said, Darren Elkins has some decent power. It is good pressure wrestling. You can take the fight down on the ground and do some more. What fight was it though that Elkins just had that he?
Lamas fight?
Oh yeah, that was bad. Well, yeah. Volkanovski's killing everyone. He survived Volkanovski,
and he looked good. He ate a crazy amount of damage in the Volkanovski fight, but he was still hung in there. The Lamas fight, man, he looked good up until just getting. As soon as Lamas got on top in the third, it was a fucking wrap. But he was competitive in it, though, in the early goings.
Yeah, that being said, I like Ryan Hall too much in this. This dude probably has just the top of the best BJJ on the roster. At least
he definitely.
This dude is nuts.
Yeah, he definitely does.
I don't know how his chin is. I'm not sure. I don't really expect him to be getting cracked by Elkins. Elkins isn't that explosive. I mean, he could probably get inside distance pretty quickly, but I don't think you're going to see like any sort of fucking fainting to like switch stance, overhand right, Tyron Woodley shit from Elkins.
That's very
Yeah,
true.
I like Hall. I like Hall via submission.
Yeah, if you're going to take Hall, I think that's how you take it.
You know what? I like it in the first round. I think we're going to see some really crazy shit. And I think Ryan Hall's going to start climbing up that ladder. What is this? This is at featherweight, right? Or no, this is at lightweight. Or no?
It should be. I can
It
never
should be at
remember.
lightweight, I believe.
Here, let me look.
I don't know.
It is at 145.
Okay, so it is at 145.
Yeah.
Yeah, look out. God, dude, Ryan Hall versus Ortega would be sick if it just stayed on the ground.
Ryan Hall would get fucked up by Brian Ortega on the feet.
Yeah, well, that's why I said if it got to the ground. So there's a cat.
Yeah, it would be super cool, but it would never get to the ground because he would uppercut the living shit out of Ryan Hall, or Ryan Hall would Imanari roll into a heel hook in the first fucking 10 seconds. One of the two. So I'm taking Darren Elkins in this fight. I know I said I'm fading a bunch of alpha male guys. Darren Elkins is not one of them in this fight. I think against upper level competition, it's going to be tough to continue picking Darren Elkins at this point because of the amount of damage he's taking. He's not going to take damage against Ryan Hall. I think Ryan Hall is going to have a very tough time at all making this any kind of grappling exchange. I think probably what happens is Darren Elkins just basically pressure boxes the shit out of Ryan Hall early, which will shut down all of Ryan Hall's kicking game. It's going to be very tough for Ryan Hall to get a takedown in this fight. And I think Imanari rolls, which is going to be Ryan Hall's best bet probably, or just trying to pull guard. It's going to be very tough to do against a wrestler like Elkins, and Elkins can just put on volume and keep a pressure going. And I would hope, well, I was going to say I would hope that Darren Elkins is smart enough to back out of any kind of grappling exchange if for any reason he does end up on top. However, the dude has the word damage tattooed across the middle of his chest, so I don't know about fight IQ. I'm fairly confident Darren Elkins takes this, probably via TKO, probably in the second. But could he make a poor decision and exchange just long enough for Ryan Hall to catch something? Absolutely. But yeah, I'm going attritional TKO by Darren Elkins in the second.
I like that call. All right, and odds for that one, for those curious, Elkins is a -119 favorite to a +106 over Hall.
That's I guess that's about where I'd see the line. I figured Hall would have been a little bit more of a favorite, but doesn't surprise me.
This next fight we have is between two fighters who haven't fought in a good while.
Another really good fight.
One evidently is a former champion, I believe. That's the rumor.
She is.
Just kidding. We have Nico Montano, the former flyweight champion at one point in life, against Juliana Pena, the Ultimate Fighter winner from, I don't know how many years ago that was. I think that was the Ronda Rousey and Miesha Tate one. That was a really good season. I remember Chris Holdsworth won that season, went undefeated. God, I wish that dude never got kneed in the head by Dilla Snake.
Yeah, by the juice guy.
Yeah, Holdsworth looked really promising. That guy has a lot of good weapons in his arsenal. Anyways, Nico Montano, last time we saw her, she defeated my cousin, who almost submitted her, back in December of 2017.
She survived on the bottom against Roxanne.
In hindsight, I'm not saying I'm glad Roxanne lost, but I'm also glad she lost because then she wouldn't have gotten head kicked into a coma by Shevchenko. So, there's that. Last time we saw Juliana Pena, she lost to Shevchenko via armbar, which was in January of 2017.
I got that fucking pick so wrong. I think I literally had.
I think a lot of people did
Pena by sub. I just don't. Yeah.
No, a lot of people did because of what Pena did to Kat Zingano a year before.
And Jessica.
So that being said, Nico Montano is pretty well rounded for the most part, but I think her lack of experience is going to just kind of reason why I'm not picking her. And I think Pena's I don't know if she's a lot bigger, but this is at 135, I believe. It should be. I don't know if Pena could even make 125. I can't remember.
No, it's 35.
It is
Montano
35.
moved up after the weight miss.
Yeah. I can't remember how. Actually, well, Montano has to have pretty fucking good submission defense if she didn't get subbed by Roxy.
When Roxy was on top too.
Yeah. So I got Pena by decision in this one. And I think it's not gonna be like dominant, but I think it's be clear cut, like she won kind of fight. I don't really know how else to say it. I just like Pena a lot, and I know she's on a long way off too. She had a kid, but
yeah, that's the thing that makes me nervous in this fight is Pena's layoff. Just because if this fight had have happened, well, if it would have happened before was Montano even fighting when fucking Juliana Pena lost to Shevchenko? She was 4 fights into her pro career when Pena lost to Shevchenko. So, geez. It's tough. So Pena's fought a lot of goddamn veterans, a lot of big names, everybody from Deanna Bennett, Sarah Morris, Gina Mazzani, Shayna Baszler, Miliana Dudieva, Jessica Ai, Kat Zingano, Shevchenko, a lot of big goddamn names. And she actually took the first round off Shevchenko, if I remember right. And Nico Montano, basically the majority of her run outside of the Pam Bam Sorensen fight back in King of the Cage, most of her run was all in the Ultimate Fighter. And I think a lot of this, I got to take Pena by decision. I think a lot of that comes down to the size difference. I think Pena is going to be way fucking bigger. And I think Pena is going to be able to muscle her way through a lot of situations, which is kind of what Pena has always done. She just kind of out athletes and out kind of bullies a lot of her competition. And Nico got through the Ultimate Fighter with a lot of the similar things. Basically just a lot of being the more athletic fighter and just kind of barely outworking a lot of people, especially in grappling exchanges against the cage. If Nico Montano can just put Juliana Pena on the cage and work from there for all 3 rounds, I think she can probably take an ugly decision. Or if she can do that and mix in a little bit of outside kickboxing, I just think probably Pena muscles her to the ground with something very ugly and is able to win at least 2 of the rounds by just being bigger and just having the athleticism advantage. So yeah, I'm taking Pena via decision. Would not at all be surprised to see Montano absolutely dominate her if Pena can't bully Montano, especially in grappling exchanges, but I'm not real confident either way. So yeah, I'm leaning Pena by decision barely. It's going to be real telling for where Pena is at, I think.
Yeah. That absolutely right. The odds on this Pena is a favorite at -179 to a +159 of Montano.
That seems a little wide to me, but I get it.
Yeah. This next fight should be good. We got a featherweight bout between Team Alpha Males, Andre Touchy-Feely, going up against Shaman Moraes from Brazil. Last time we saw Andre Feely, he had an impressive decision victory over Miles Jury. Before that, he had a close decision loss to Michael Johnson, who I think some people scored it for Feely, if I remember correctly. I think that was a really close fight. And either way, Feely's been getting a lot better. He's impressed me a lot since he recovered from that one violent loss to Yair Rodriguez a couple of years ago. God, that was bad. But no, ever since then, man, he's been putting in some good performances. Shaman Moraes, last time we saw him, was March 30th, where he lost the unanimous decision to Sadiq Youssef, another up-and-coming fighter, up in the rankings. I know Moraes has a lot of power. Feely's not known for his power, but he's known for being really good at range. And just, I'm not going to call it point fighting. He has decent fight IQ, and that he knows kind of how to dart in and dart out, and kind of just piece people up.
Yeah.
His scrambling's really good, from what I remember or recall, especially against Dennis Bermudez. And he goes against Jury too. He showed a lot of good scrambling skills, and I mean, he's an alpha male. He's wrestling like all the fucking time, especially against guys like Garbrandt and shit. And Mendez. I know Mendez is retired, um, but yeah, I'm leaning Feely in this one. Shane Rise has really good power. I can't really remember his stand up as far as it's like technically speaking. Um, but I feel like this is a fight Feely should just win, really, but unless he gets like caught.
I think it. Oh my god, that dog! Here, keep talking for a second. I'm gonna go shut that dog up.
Yeah, I like Feely by decision in this one. I think he's going to be able to kind of just keep just dipping in and out from Marias's range. I can't really recall if Marias is a kickboxer or anything. Holy shit, though, Marias has fought some decent motherfuckers too. He has a win over Julio Arce, has a win over up-and-comer Matt Sales. He got submitted by Zabit Magomed Sharipov. No shame in that. Yeah, wow, he has a loss against Marlon Marias. That was a World Series fight, yeah. But yeah, I'm still gonna go with Andre Feely in this one though. And I got it by decision.
Nice,
It should be pretty close. So Maurice is explosive, might be able to close the distance. But yeah, the only way I have him winning this is if he clips Feely with like an overhand and sends him to the mat.
Yeah. So first off, one thing that oh god, this dog's just gonna fucking pace all over the place. This goddamn little chihuahua. I swear to God, she just fucking terrorizes me. Tilly, you want to come here? You want to say hi to everybody? Come here. Come here. Oh, you motherfucker! You're gonna squeal if I try and pick you up. She's the worst. She's the worst. This fucking terror. She weighs like fucking 6 pounds. She's a goddamn terror.
Brought to you by a dog breed you should never own. Just kidding.
Yeah.
Kind of kidding, but
well, considering how goddamn many of them there are in this house.
Oh, I see her. She just made a little cameo appearance there.
Oh yeah. Hey, Tilly.
Yeah. Oh, there she is.
See this monster? She's goddamn ridiculous. Anyway, so
dude, her ears are like devil horns right there.
Oh yeah, no, she's legit. She gives you crazy looks sometimes too. Like I'll be sitting there and she looks like she's trying to figure out how to eat me without me figuring it out. She's a goddamn monster. Anyway, there's a reason why we call her the White Devil. So a couple things that are interesting, I think, in this fight. First off, both these dudes have only lost to the highest levels of competition. I mean, Feely has losses to Michael Johnson, Calvin Kattar, Yair Rodriguez, Godofredo Pepe, and Max Holloway. And Shayman Moraes has losses to Sadiq Youssef, Zabit, and Marlon Moraes. Those are some high, and they both have high level wins. Shayman has them over guys like Luis Palomino, Robbie Peralta, Julio Arce. And I think that's why I have to take Shayman Moraes in this fight. Assuming Shayman Moraes isn't getting... He definitely isn't necessarily the fighter he was in WSOF, I don't think. But he's still super fucking competitive. And I just think the pressure footwork and his grappling ability is going to give Feely trouble. Because I think Feely's going to have trouble with the footwork. And Feely's answer to that a lot of times is to try and get into scrambles. And I don't think he's going to be able to consistently out-grapple Shayman Moraes. I think they'll be pretty competitive. He'll definitely win some of the exchanges, but I think they'll be pretty competitive. So I'm actually leaning Shayman Moraes via decision, but not ultra confident, though.
I'll give you the odds real quick, and this cough and clue is going right through me. Unfortunately, I have to piss really bad. I apologize for that, so I'm going to give you the odds. Moraes is a minus 108 to a minus 105 of Feely. I'll go ahead and let you take away this next fight. And this fight, I have no clue who the fuck to pick anyway. So I'll be right back. I apologize.
Oh, good. Well, here's my breakdown of two people I don't think I've ever seen fight. Actually, have I seen Mike Rodriguez fight? Oh, Chris really should have muted his mic. That's a day one mistake right there. Let's see. Mike Rodriguez. Oh, right. He's coming off the win. Oh my God. I've seen this guy fight 3 times. Oversaturation might be a thing, y'all. Mike Rodriguez is coming off the win over Adam Milstead. Prior to that, he had the loss to Devin Clark in his debut, and he had the flying knee against Jamel Jones in Contender Series back in 2017. John Allen is a Brazilian fighter who is coming off a win over Alexandre Silva. at Future FC. He also had the loss to Vinicius Moreira in the Contender Series back in 2018. Is that the Brazil one? Yeah, that's Brazil 3. Those Brazil Contender Series fights were fucking one-sided. Yeah, I guess I'm taking Mike Rodriguez. I don't know. This is one of those fights that, without seeing a lot of these dudes' fights, I'm not real confident. Considering I didn't even remember I've seen 3 Mike Rodriguez fights. Yeah, I gotta imagine Mike Rodriguez, if he's still training at Lausanne's, which I think he is, I gotta imagine that's gonna make it tough for John Allen to work the grappling game. And I just don't have enough faith in the competition he's been up against, because a lot of these are just like super regional. It's not like he's fighting in Jungle Fight. A lot of these are super regional Brazilian organizations that he's fighting in. Like Immortal FC is fine, but it's not Jungle Fight or Shudo Brazil or anything. So MMA math. I think I gotta lean Mike Rodriguez in this one, which is weird, but I guess I understand it. Looks like the odds on this one, Mike Rodriguez is a minus 385 favorite to a plus 265 underdog John Allen, which, yeah, that sounds about right to me.
I'm just going to go ahead and agree with your pick.
Do you even know what my pick is?
No. Then
all right.
Just move up forward.
Nailed it. I'm picking Rodriguez because he's fought people who I know the name of.
That is what I would do too.
Yeah, I'm probably taking him by decision. Who did you have in that? You had Feely by what?
By decision.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, I think that fight will probably be scrappy as shit. I don't know enough about either of those dudes. And also, they might have the most common names of all time. John Allen and Mike Rodriguez are like some Beavis and Butthead style like character actor names.
That's a very good point. Yeah.
Yeah.
Next fight is an interesting fight at 185. We got Marvin the Italian Dream Vittori going up against Cesar Ferreira from Brazil, who's looking very natty in that picture of his on Tapology.
Yeah, natural as fuck, bro.
Brought to you by Natty Ice.
TJ's juice. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Brought to or what's the fucking I know what's the regular beer called, by the way, if it's not natural ice? What is it called?
There's only natural ice and natural light.
Okay, so yeah, because I saw a friend of Jorge when he was coming over for the fights last week. Yeah, he's like, "What kind of beer should I pick up?" And I was like, "Something decent, whatever." And then he sent me a box. It said Natty Daddy, and it was like Nat. It was like their new. I was like, "Oh god, yeah."
Yeah, those by far the worst cheap beer. If you're gonna buy cheap beer, actually, one second,
go
tell you exactly what's hot.
Yeah, I have an idea what you're gonna say, and I will.
If you're gonna buy cheap beer, either buy regular Busch or Keystone. Keystone's very fucking good.
I was gonna go with Hams.
Also, I will add Genesee to that list. Genesee Cream Ale. It's like fucking $2 a tall can, and it's really good.
Those are some good unofficial plugs. I was gonna go unofficially with Hams.
Oh, Hams is. I just drank the last Hams yesterday, but yes, Hams is also very solid. Also, I don't mind Tortuga or Caguama, actually.
Dude, I remember that. Dude, you get that like at Food for Less or some shit.
Exactly where I get it.
Dude, you know what? I might have to buy some this weekend.
Caguama.
Yeah, Caguama. Yeah. Aren't they from like Nicaragua or some shit like that? Some crazy shit.
Something like that. Yeah, that's really solid. And then, of course, Country Club. If we're going for Food for Less brands, Country Club is a classic.
Anyways, last time we saw Marvin the Italian Dream, he lost the split decision to Izzy Adesanya. That's right. Mm-hmm. I think he got a couple takedowns on Israel on that, and he just kind of stuck to the grappling. Wasn't a bad performance in hindsight by Vittori, but he's going up against Cesar Ferreira. Oh yeah, he just lost to last number to Ian Heinisch, who I believe is pretty hyped up, right? You know what's sad? I still don't. You know my terrible short-term memory. It's probably all the boozing that I do.
I can't relate.
I can't remember Heinisch like in my mind. Like that guy's bad. You know
Heinisch
what I
is
mean? Like
dope,
if
and
I
if you saw him, you would immediately know he's very white.
yeah.
Like if you look at his
I mean his
pathology
name is
picture, you immediately
yeah.
remember who he is.
I mean his last name sounds very German,
Yeah,
Germanic.
yeah.
So yeah, I can imagine
Yeah,
how
he's
white
out
he
of
is.
Factory X out in Colorado. Or wait,
Yeah, I don't
Factory X
really
is
know.
not in Colorado. Factory X is in. Oh, it is in Colorado.
This fight's interesting. I'm kind of leaning Fajeda, and I think it's just gonna go the distance. I don't know. I imagine Vittori has decent scrambles if he was doing what he did to a kickboxer like Adesanya, and he just kind of pressures forward and goes for that single to a trip. I know he's a kickboxer. I think technically Vittori.
God, yeah.
This is weird to pick. I'm gonna lean Fajeda, and I think it's gonna go the distance. I know Vittori has a hell of a chin. He took some good shots from Adesanya.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Fajeda. Like I said, I apologize for the lack of tape study, and I'm not gonna bullshit anyone saying give some fucking fake ass analysis or I don't know. Yeah, I got Fajeda via decision.
I think that's a smart pick. I've been going back and forth on this one mostly because I really like Mutanch. I think he is super talented and probably pretty underrated considering the losses. He has had some rough losses, but they're to Ian Heinisch, Elias Theodoro, which fucking Elias Theodoro does that to almost everybody.
Yeah,
Jorge Masvidal finished him. Sam Alvey finished him. And CB Dalloway finished him. The CB Dalloway one is the most. Oh, and Elvis Mutapcic. The CB Dalloway one is the one that raises the most eyebrows, probably. That was back in 2014, though. And also, it should be noted, Cesar Fajeda has a win over Anthony Smith.
Oh wow,
Is that the same Anthony Smith? Yeah, that's the same Anthony
185.
Smith. He also has a win over Carl Roberson, who's super athletic. I just don't think Vittori is athletic enough to win this fight, and I don't think unless he's able to catch Fajeda on the outside with the kickboxing, I think he is in for a long fucking night. He did go to decision with Shoeface and with Omari Akhmedov, so I'm gonna take Fajeda via decision rather than sub, but I would not be ultra surprised if he's able to catch a submission. Cesar Fajeda is super solid on the ground. He is very hittable. He's shown that over and over again, and he is with, I'm assuming he's with Combat Club since he was with Black Zillions, which Combat Club I am not real high on, especially for grapplers, because a lot of times, let's just say they don't focus on a lot of defense at Combat Club, it seems like. And a lot of Combat Club fighters seem to be front runners in a crazy kind of a way. So I think that'll be interesting to see going forward. I'm leaning Fajeda by decision also, but I could easily see him losing a close decision also.
Yeah, I got Fajeda decision. The odds on this, Vittori is the favorite at minus 143 to a plus 126 of.
I think that's 100% just because of the Israel fight.
Yeah, no.
And he didn't look really competitive in the Israel fight other than he went for a whole lot of takedowns that he never really got.
Yeah, it was more like Matt returns.
Exactly.
Speaking of Carl Roberson, I think it's Robertson. Not Robertson, but
I think
Roberson.
I think it's Roberson, but we'll find out.
I think it is Roberson too, but I don't know. Who knows?
He's fighting the most delicious of dishes, as our skip podcast this week said, which maybe in hindsight that shouldn't have been a skip because that's a good joke.
Wellington Turman.
Yes, the most delicious of dishes.
From Brazil. This is his UFC debut. Carl Roberson is a bad motherfucker. His last fight, he lost to Glover Teixeira via arm triangle choke. No shame in that. Before that, he gave CTE to Jack Marshman. I probably should be making those jokes, but
Probably not.
Yeah. He simulated his death, as Uriah Faber would say. Yeah, that's still
Or
one
as
of
your
the.
Uriah Faber might experience this weekend.
What's up?
He said, or as Uriah Faber might experience this weekend.
Yeah, right. Check the record, bud.
Nailed it.
I got Roberson in this one because I don't really know Wellington Turman. Sorry, dude. I'm not gonna sit here and lie. So I got Roberson. I got him by. Has this guy been knocked out? This guy knocks people out outside the UFC, so I don't. No, I got him by decision.
Looks like
Then. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt.
I think that's probably the smart pick. The only thing that is kind of interesting in this, having not seen any of another dude that's just from Immortal FC and Future. I guess he did fight in Brave for a fight. Maybe I need to catch up on more Immortal FC fights, but that's not a promotion I've heard the name of a whole bunch. I know they're young, but still. Brazil has some regional events that are very crazy matchmaking. And the fact this dude is winning a lot of these by decision, I think could be interesting. It looks like his competition's been, it's been fairly competitive. Some of these, like most of these dudes have winning records by a lot. Some of them are very 50-50. He does have a win over a guy who is 0-11 at one point. So,
wow.
Like I said, Brazilian MMA gets kind of crazy sometimes. Carl Roberson, it's interesting that his 2 losses came via arm triangle, which I would imagine means if Wellington can manage to get on top, it could make it a rough night for Carl. However, when your 2 losses via sub are to Cesar Ferreira and Glover Teixeira, I would be surprised if Wellington Turman is that level of grappler and also can hang on the feet. So yeah, I'm leaning Carl Roberson via decision, but I don't know. I don't know much about Wellington. So if Wellington does win, maybe one of the coolest names to win a fight in the UFC.
Yeah.
It's right up there with Galore Buffon.
Yeah, that's still probably the greatest fighter name ever.
Yeah. Colby the Delicious Cheese Covington has a pretty great name too.
Roberson is a -200 to +175 favorite. Yeah. Next up, we have a very intriguing bout at featherweight between TriStar's Mirsad Bektik going up against Team Alpha Male's Josh Emmett. Josh Emmett, last time we saw him, he knocked out Michael Johnson.
Yeah. In a fight that I had that fight.
I actually missed this fight.
I had that
That's
fight.
Why I don't remember it.
I had that fight picked completely correctly up until he landed the one right hand that made it wrong.
Yeah, I actually missed this fight, unfortunately. But that's
lost every part of that fight up until the last 45 seconds.
Yeah, it is what it is. That's the way she goes sometimes. Before that, I remember I saw him nearly die to Jeremy Stevens. I remember that.
Oh, my God. Yeah, Jeremy Stevens tried to kill a man.
I mean, he already killed a guy in a bar almost, so there's that.
Yeah, but don't worry, dude. Dana White got him out of jail in time to fight, so.
No, yeah, right. It's all good, though, guys. I met Jeremy Stevens in real life. He's a really cool guy. He's a sweetheart.
He seems like a very nice guy.
Yeah.
That's right. You met him when you went to Alliance, right?
I didn't see him there. Actually,
you talked about the hockey game.
At a hockey game. Right. No, he was a fucking cool guy. So, I mean, like I said, I judge people based on how they are in person. I never really like to we could talk shit about anyone based on their past actions. Don't get me wrong. Everyone does fucking dumb shit, especially John Jones and McGregor.
Oh, you mean the Irish sports star?
Yeah, right. Maybe I'll just meet him and he'll offer me some cocaine in his proper 12 and we'll make it a fun time. I don't know.
He'll offer you more than that if you're not careful.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
It might not be an offer you can refuse.
Yeah, and Jesus. Well, I'm not going to Ireland.
That's a terrible influence on me.
Yeah. This fight, I'm leaning towards Bektik based on what he did to Lamas. That was really impressive. But Emmett
Yeah.
has really good wrestling though too, or decent wrestling. I can't remember.
He's with Alpha Male, and he was able to out wrestle. Who was it? Oh, was it Holtzman? I know John Tuck. He's able to stuff John Tuck's takedowns. I think he stuffed a couple of Holtzman's takedowns. I mean, Emmett's real competitive. I just don't know what to make of him because of his weird power.
I got Backtick, and I just have to go TriStar. I think Backtick. I can't remember where he was originally. If he was at ATT or some shit, but I remember he moved to TriStar, and this dude's looked like so fucking different.
Yeah.
Ever since. No, I'm going Backtick in this one. I got him decision.
I think that's probably the right pick. God damn it. I think I'm gonna take Elkins via knockout in the
Or Emmett. But
Emmett.
yeah, I mean,
same thing. Yes, exactly. The other alpha male guy who will win via late KO. Yeah, I think Mirsad Bektic probably. I think the smart pick is probably Bektic by decision. I don't have faith that Josh Emmett isn't just going to crush him with a giant overhand at some point because he's really fucking good at it.
Very plausible.
And Bektic faded late against Elkins. I mean, albeit because he was beating the living shit out of Elkins so bad that he gassed, but he did fade late. And I just think he's not going to be able to work a wrestling game against Emmett. And I think with Emmett's power, it's just a matter of whether or not he can actually touch him. And after that Michael Johnson KO, I think I have to pick Emmett just because that KO is fucking brutal and it was out of nowhere. And he was able to make that adjustment and just kind of shut Michael Johnson down. Now that I'm saying this out loud, I'm realizing Michael Johnson trains with Henry Hoof, and I just had a big talk about how Henry Hoof and the Combat 365/Black Zillions dudes don't have the greatest defense, and TriStar is quite literally the opposite of that.
So basically, the anomaly of that gym is Kamaru Usman.
I mean, yes, because he's a wrestler.
Well, I know that's the joke,
but
he's a wrestler learning striking.
Yeah, he's not either a jiu-jitsu guy who is trying to figure out how to strike with no defense or a power puncher who gasses, which are evidently the two stereotypes out of Black Zillions.
Or a tall person who doesn't know how to use their jab or legs.
I mean, that's less on Henry Hoof and more on the person who refuses to use a jab, despite being 7 fucking feet tall. Yeah. To be fair, I really like him.
No, I like him. He's a great guy. The Dutch are very nice people. Anyway,
they really and they're way smarter than us. Let's be very honest,
dude. I went to school.
Dutch and German people are some of the smartest people around.
I can attest to that.
Yeah, they all know like 4 more languages than everyone.
Don't get me wrong. I held it down for some of the dumb Americans that were there. I made us look a little bit smarter, but
that's right. Then you got picked up by the cops for being drunk.
Yeah. Outside of the classroom, I definitely lived up to the stereotypes. But
yeah, there you go.
But anyways, yeah, the odds on this. What the fuck? Oh, this is all fucked up on here. Where is this fight? Oh, it's right here. Backtick is at -149 favorite over a +132 of Emmett.
I think that's the right call. I think that line's about right. I'm still taking Emmett via KO in the second, but
that's not a bad pick though.
It feels like a bad pick, but it's fine.
Speaking of just fights that should never happen, here's the co-main event. Wow. I'm just gonna say right now, Ricky Simone is gonna win this fight.
Absolutely, he is. It's not even going to be competitive.
No, he's not going to get a knockout though, because Faber's got a double chin. Like his chin has always been insane. He's gotten rocked a couple times.
What you did there, I see it.
No, I know some people have said, "Oh, he'll get knocked out. Look what Cruz's pillow hands rocked him, bro." And it's like, no, he caught him flush on a counter. Anyone can get dropped from a fucking counter. This is how that works. That's how counters work. Not fucking expecting it.
Well, and if he's not getting finished by Jimmy Rivera back when they fought.
Yeah.
It's not like Ricky's known for power punching either.
I got him by decision. It's gonna be just dominant 3-round decision. I don't really know. I really can't say what the fuck Uriah Faber is gonna bring to this fight. No, there's zero confidence, except maybe catching him in some guillotine.
I just realized I'm taking Ricky Simone via TKO in the second via leg kicks. Because I didn't think about leg kicks, and the second I thought about it, I was like, "Oh, you know what? The last couple of opponents he have in common, they don't really throw leg kicks." And Ricky Simone comes from a sharp fucking camp, ATT Portland, I believe is their new name. And I know I've heard from Jake Smith on his podcast, the writer and the fighter, that Ricky does hit fucking hard. It's just a matter of, and you look at the dudes Ricky's fought some guys who are notoriously tough and can take a shot.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, it's like you could have a good chin, but your legs could still get you knocked out.
Well, I think the reason why most people don't throw leg kicks against Uriah is the worried about the takedown. I don't think Ricky's at all going to be worried about the takedown because I think he has the better wrestling, at least now. Yeah. Like at this point in both of their careers, I think he's definitely going to win enough of the grappling exchanges to just stay on top. I would be amazed if Uriah Faber can get Ricky down and hold him down in any kind of significant way. So I think outside of getting caught in a random fucking guillotine, which I don't think is going to happen. I don't know what Uriah has to bring to this fight.
So, and I'll say this real quick: the worst case scenario, and we try to be as objective as possible when we make these picks. But I just think about this: the worst case scenario for this is if Faber wins, because you know why?
He's going to fight again?
Well, besides that, they're probably going to give him a number one title shot or number one contender fight against like some guy he doesn't deserve to fight. Or they're just going to let him fight Henry Cejudo. Like, I swear, it's just be some dumb shit because it's Uriah Faber.
He is, as we mentioned last week, Holly Holm is the Uriah Faber of title shots, much like Uriah Faber is the Holly Holm of title shots. So you are absolutely correct that he might fight Henry Cejudo, which would be the dumbest fucking thing ever.
Oh, that would literally be the worst title fight ever. Just the most undeserved,
the most gifted title shot.
Like, so no.
Yeah. Yeah. I got Ricky Simone. I would not be. I don't think Ricky Simone's gonna be able to sub him, which is just because Uriah Faber's so goddamn scrappy. I know he got caught by Nicky Ryan, but it's fucking Nicky Ryan.
Did you say leg kick TK though?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is I'm not going sub because even though Uriah got caught by Nicky Ryan, it's fucking Nicky Ryan. So I think Uriah's veteran enough on the ground to not get subbed, but I think Ricky Simone definitely beats the shit out of him, and probably ends up on top at some point, and probably lands a whole lot of ground and pound. But yeah, I just see Ricky Simone. If Ricky Simone works leg kicks in this fight, I think he fucks Uriah Faber up bad.
So there's that. The odds on this: Ricky Simone is a -323 to a +278. I don't see anything wrong with that.
I mean, it could be wider, honestly. That like I would put money on Ricky Simone at that. That's
this brings us
-600.
Yeah. And there's about to be a lot of noise in the background, so this brings us to the main event of the evening. Germaine De Randamie.
Would you have the method on that one? Was it decision?
Oh, I got decision. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's probably the
Germaine De Randamie, the Iron Lady from the Netherlands, is going up against American fighter Aspen Ladd, who's 8-0. I'll say this. Before I saw the weigh-ins today, I had Aspen Ladd via grindy decision, via grappling. But now I am going with Germaine De Randamie via knockout, violent knockout, head kick. Unfortunately, I didn't like how Aspen Ladd looked in the weigh-ins. I was going to go, oh, she'll be fine after she rehydrates. No. She looked like death.
Yeah, her chin's going
to be really bad. Her chin's not going to be there. She's going to get caught. Germaine De Randamie's too talented on the feet.
Yeah, if you like the look of Aspen Ladd at the weigh-ins, you're probably a serial killer.
Germaine De Randamie, I still think is more talented. yeah, and GDR is so fucking talented on the feet. I'm not saying like she could fucking hang in there with Nunes. I mean, she could probably take some shots and like give some shots, but
She lost
no, like
Nunes via elbows in the first.
okay.
Back in 2013.
I mean, I don't know how long time ago that was, but
2013,
in
a while back.
Yeah, in any sense, no one's beating Nunes now. But yeah, no, I like Germaine De Randamie in this fight. I'm not saying it's because of the weigh-in today. This fight was either going one of two ways anyway. Either GDR just pieces her up, or she gets just smothered on the ground. Yeah.
I feel very similar. Couple things that I was going to pick GDR going into this anyway, but especially after seeing Aspen Ladd at the weigh-ins, which she looked bad in the Evinger weigh-ins, but not that fucking bad. Honestly, it is a fucking horrible look for California State Athletic Commission to allow this fight to continue. You can't fucking be shaking like that on the scale and grin.
Don't be surprised if this gets called off tomorrow, by the way, if Aspen Ladd doesn't show up.
Think it should be, to be honest. But I had GDR going into it anyway. I think Aspen Ladd lost the fight to Sijara Eubanks. I think the Tanya Evinger fight in retrospect, after seeing Tanya Evinger's run in the UFC and where Tanya Evinger is at, is probably more telling about Tanya Evinger than it is about Aspen Ladd. And the Lena Landsberg fight was super impressive. So I don't know. At this point, I already think Germaine De Randamie is probably the second or third best person in the 35 division, pretty clearly.
Yeah.
I think she always kind of has been. And her wrestling, while it's or her grappling, while it's not great, her wrestling is very solid. She does not
AKA, or is that not anymore?
She is, I believe, or I know she at least does train somewhat in Northern California, or whatever part of California you want to consider, Sacramento, in Fresno area. Because Eugene S. Robinson said she used to train a lot at his gym, Sorrel Academy, or the gym he goes to, I should say. But yeah, I just like, here's an example. Germaine De Randamie's three losses are Amanda Nunes, who is the greatest female fighter of all time, Julia Budd, who is the champion of Bellator and is a fucking veteran, and Germaine was 3 fights in when she fought her, and Vanessa Porto, which she fought Vanessa Porto, who was 7-3 in her first fight ever, or in her first MMA fight ever. So, and Vanessa Porto is very fucking solid also.
And I think De Randamie, regardless, has like 40 kickboxing fights. So she's
a super high level striker. And Aspen Ladd is not. I think people forget what that fight with Sijara Eubanks looked like. Aspen Ladd got clipped and hurt multiple times on the feet in that fight in just wild exchanges. And I think Germaine De Randamie absolutely will catch her with something. It's a matter of whether or not Aspen Ladd can get the takedown.
I was just looking at the odds. That's what I'm going, wow.
Aspen Ladd is a big favorite, and I have no fucking idea why everybody's so high on Aspen in this fight. I think swing pretty hard right now because of Aspen Ladd's weigh-in. But unless Aspen Ladd can get on top of Germaine De Randamie and pound her out, she fucking loses this fight. Absolutely. If this stays on the feet at all, I think she gets finished. So I have Germaine De Randamie via TKO in the second, but it could be the third. I think it just is going to depend on how long it takes Aspen Ladd to get desperate.
You know what? I'm going first round TKO GDR. Wow. Fuck. That weigh-in. This fight should not be happening.
Yeah. It's fucking upsetting. I like, as someone who I'm
tell you the odds. Wrong, so
I'm notoriously against weight cutting anyway. So I have a very biased opinion of it, I'm sure. I think it hurts more fighters than it helps, and it's more of a mental thing than anything, which is a dumb... It's just as fucking psychosomatic as any goddamn placebo, as far as I'm concerned. But regardless of the weight cutting thing, I just think this is way too big a step up in competition for Aspen Ladd at this point in her career. It's terrible matchmaking. Absolutely, Aspen Ladd still should have been fighting Holly Holm. That was the fight to make.
Dana, while I would normally stay home and be a fuckface, I'm actually going to be at work, so I can't stay home, but I see what you mean.
You don't like it, don't watch, fucking dummy.
Yeah. Stay home. Yeah. So that's it for that card. Next week we have a very good bout between Leon Edwards, who's also known as a cook at KFC in his off time.
I was gonna say I've heard that guy is hungry and he reviews 3-piece meals for a living.
Yeah, fuck, I'm starving, by the way, dude. That's why I'm literally about to pass out. I'm literally like coffee and Kahlua. This is not good. My left eye is twitching right now as we speak.
Well, I'm in Santee, so it's probably 90 plus degrees outside, and I don't have the air on, and I'm drinking whiskey. So yes,
yeah, I have to go check my pool before work. It's 76 right now in Claremont.
Oh God, it's probably 20 degrees hotter out here.
I would imagine that would not, and I'm sorry. So yeah, it's 85 in El Cajon. So yeah, it's 90 in Poway. So Santee's probably high 80s, low 90s.
That checks out.
Yeah. Wow, if you're in New York, you're having fun. It's almost 90.
Oh, it's 88 here, but it feels like it's 90. So fucking nailed it, bro.
Yeah.
Cool,
if you're in Arizona, it's 110. Have fun.
Fucking, if you're in Arizona, please don't come to our goddamn city. You drive like trash people.
Oh, dude.
What do you drive bad.
Dude, they've been here for the past month.
They've been here for the past fucking decade.
Dude, go to the beach right now in La Jolla. Right now, what's today? Friday? Oh, dude, Wind and Sea is packed with zoners.
Yeah, a bunch of terrible trucks and awful drivers.
Yeah, and a lot of really, really, really white people.
Oh, yeah.
Really white.
Also, shouts out to Lacey.
Shouts out.
She hits like 9 of those descriptors.
Yeah, that's it for me, man, with this card. Next week should be good. And after that is 240, which, as Jack Slack called, hot diggity dog shit.
Wow. Yeah, it's not good. There are some fun matchups. Like this card. This card has some fun matchups, but it also has a lot of filler. There's a lot of people where you're like, oh, you should have been on this card, but you got moved to pay-per-view.
So Sum 41 called it all filler, no killer? Whatever that song was called?
Yeah. You nailed it. That's not even Sum 41, is it?
Yeah, tomorrow Aspen Ladd will be in too deep. So
yeah,
that's all I got.
She's just trying to keep. I'm not gonna fucking continue that stupid goddamn joke. Instead of going okay. So on that note, if we're singing Sum 41, this show is fucking over. You guys can find us on Twitter, TSOV Pod. Hit us up, let us know what MMA podcast we should be checking out. I know there's ones that we don't know about. If you're in it, if you host an MMA podcast, if your friend hosts an MMA podcast, if you know of an MMA podcast that you haven't heard us talk about, please let us know. We will check it out. And you guys can always send us an email, sovpod@gmail.com or christhesoundofviolence.com. Ratings and reviews on whatever the fuck Apple calls their or wherever you listen to this. Fuck Apple. If you want to leave it on Apple Podcasts, you can leave it there. If you want to leave it on fucking Podbay or wherever you listen to this shit, we appreciate it. And yeah, appreciate y'all listening. So, Chris, you got anything else you want to add?
Yeah, just don't waste your time and become another casualty of society. And with that, I'm out.
God damn it. All right, I am out. I'm gonna go smoke a Hammer and Sickle Icon cigar or whatever the fuck they renamed that to. Trademark, I think. And until next time, everybody, go do something decadent. And hey, maybe try out Suntory's Toki whiskey. It's pretty goddamn good. All right. Till next time, everybody. We out. Bye.